So I'm going to start a series of source making where I am going to create this source. This is a source I created a while ago, and I've actually painted and sold this painting. But I am going to create this source in several different applications and see so that I can show the difference on how the different tools work in each of the applications. Now, I'm not an expert in all of these applications. I'm not an expert in any of these applications. Probably for me, the best is Photoshop because that's the one I've been working with the longest. And that's what I created this original image in. So I'm going to start with that. But then I'm going to do another video in Procreate. I'm going to do one in Affinity. And I'm going to do one in Pixelmator on the iPad. We'll start with those. And see kind of the differences in the tools and try to get the source to be as close to this one as possible. Okay, so I'm going to start and see, let's see what the image size was on this. Okay, it's an 18 by 24. So I'm going to go ahead and go to File, New. I'm in Photoshop for this one. 18 by 24. And in this one, I could have just started with a black background, but I'm just going to go ahead and use the spilling paint can with a black paint fill, and I'm going to spill the paint in. I could also just go and go to Edit Fill and change the background that way as well in Photoshop. Okay, so I have created a source folder with a whole bunch of different images that I am going to use to recreate this source. I've already created a video that about source collection and how I kind of collect my source using different things like Midjourney, Unsplash, Pexels, Pixabay. I always get copyright-free images, so I don't use Pinterest. I rarely use even Google unless it is an incredibly generic thing that isn't going to violate any copyright or there are settings that you can use on Google to make sure that you're not violating copyright. Okay, so I'm going to start by putting in my base image, which is, and I'm just going to drag and drop, so I'm going to go to my folder, and I am going to grab that woman with glasses that I created in Midjourney, and I'm going to drag her in. I'm resizing this image. Here we go. Now, I know that I am going to, okay, I know that I just want her head. I don't want her body or anything like that. So I'm going to, let's see, down here in Photoshop, if you have the newest version of Photoshop, you have this remove background tab. It's their AI features. It's really cool. I don't know though if it's going to give me the resources that I want. Yeah, I just took the general background. It kept her head here. This is sloppy because this is just a source. I'm not creating this for publication or anything like that. I would be a lot neater if this was something I was going to publish, but in the end, this is just a source that I'm then going to paint from. So it does not have to be neat and tidy. I could soften the edges. I could do all kinds of smoothing and stuff. So if I was going to publish it, that might be what I'm going to do. But I'm just going to click OK there. Oh, that dragonfly. Let's pull that in. Okay, so again, this was a dragonfly that I created in Midjourney. Not that I couldn't use a real dragonfly, but I liked this one. This source is kind of fantasy, a little fantasy-like, and I really like the light that's coming through this dragonfly. So before I remove it from the background, I'm going to try some blending modes because I love the lighting here, and I want to see what it does to her face. So, blending modes. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know where to find blending modes. Basically, what blending modes does is it takes one layer and it blends it together with another layer, giving it a unique kind of effect. So here's what I'm working with right here where it says normal. I'm going to try changing to blend it different ways. So I'm going to try darken. Obviously, when you have a black background, darken doesn't usually work very well. There's lighten. That looks really neat. So you can see her face is showing through a little bit. Screen is also really good. I love what it does to her, to those wings. Difference is nice too. No, I think I like lighten. And I'm going to go get the eraser. And I am going to erase. So what happens when I'm trying to erase it is that when you pull in a photograph, it's not editable. And so the first time I click, the program is just asking me or telling me that it can't edit it unless it rasterizes it, and I just click OK. So that's what's going on there when that happens. So right now I am just softening those edges. I'm using the eraser and softening that. I really kind of like that it has a little bit of background, but I'm getting rid of all of this on her face because I don't want to cover up her face there. All right, cover up some. It's going to end up being different than my original source, I guarantee it, just because I'm really incapable of copying something twice, and probably all of them are going to look different from each other. But I like that. I like the way that it has this brightness over her face right there. Okay, so I'm going to leave that. Now I'm going to go and pull in something else. Here's a flower. I'm going to select remove background, and I am going to, I do not like this color. I'm going to pull this behind the dragonfly. So you can see because the dragonfly has a blending mode on it, it is interacting with this flower. I'm going to resize that flower. No, not that. I want to go to the flower. Resize the flower. Here we go. Maybe. So in my original, I have the flower way up here, and I have the dragonfly a little bit lower. So maybe I do that. Okay, these flowers I love. I use these flowers in so many of this exact photograph I use in so many of my paintings. I just love the symmetry of these flowers. They're so fun. I'm gonna remove the background. Again, if I'm using Photoshop, they're so easy to take out the background. Other apps are not this simple, so you know, that's why I do save a bunch of my a bunch of flowers and stuff without backgrounds, because but if you're always using Photoshop, you don't have to really worry about it. Could you please go there? Okay. Yeah. I do like that. Okay. All right. All right, let's go to those flowers and get something. I'm just changing so that's hard light, and that's pin light. Those are two I use a lot. I love hard light and I love pin light. They look very similar. I'm going to select hard light on that. Notice here, the layout I have right now, this flower is literally touching the edge of her cheek. We call that a tangent edge. it's something you want to avoid. You want to avoid having one object literally just kissing that edge right there. It is, it's an accident. It's not intentional, and it's uncomfortable. So I want the flower to either completely cover her face but not touch her lips. You want them to cover it, or you want it to not be touching it. Okay, so that's just a little composition tactic there. That's a good bee. I've got a couple choices here that I like this bee. And to make that bee brighter is go up to the image menu, go to adjustments. I'll start with, I'm going to start with, we'll try levels. And I'm just changing basically the levels is kind of like exposure. It's just pulling up the light in that bee. I'm going to fit it where I want it there. I am going to go Command. Oh, that's better, much, much better. So I'm holding the Command key, and rather than trying to I'm going to just warp it. So now I'm going to go to Filter. All right, that's really good enough. And remember, you're painting this. Does not have to be perfect. I'm just gonna erase the edges so that I can still see my glasses, because I am painting those, so I want to be able to see them. All right, now I'm going to find the right bee for this. Already used that one. I like this one. I kind of searched high and low to find dripping honey. So I found a PNG on Google. So I'm just going to put this honey in the eye here, and going to could always use Mid-Journey to find dripping honey. Also, that was maybe has a little bit better look to it. So it's just kind of a rush job there on the honey, but it's not too bad. I'm not going to keep those lines in there, but I like the honey. I'm sure I can paint, you know, kind of find some sources. So there's my source in Photoshop. We're going to go ahead and end this in this video here, but keep an eye open for the same source created in a different app. Here's the final painting. Stay tuned for the source creation in Affinity, Procreate, Pixelmator, and I don't know, maybe some others. See you later.